Now we go to our next, which is OBSC Perfection Limited.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Saksham Likha. I'm the Managing Director of OBSC Perfection. And truly honored to be part of this conclave. We are, very proud that we are recognized as one of the top 10 emerging SME companies in India. It's a privilege to be here. Today I will help you guys go through the journey that we've had at OBSC Perfection. It's been 8 years since we started the company, and we'll give you a complete picture of how we started, where we are right now, and what our plans are for the future. So OBSC Perfection is a precision engineering company founded in 2017, and the company was started as a collaboration between two families. That's the OBSC family, that's Omega Bright Steel family, that they are a legacy steel manufacturer in India, having multiple plants, and Perfection. Perfection is my family-owned business, and so that's the Likha side of the business. And the two different companies joined forces to create OBSC Perfection, which is now leading a very fast-growing CNC machining, investment casting, cold forging, and hot forging company based out of Pune. Okay, like I said, we started in 2017 with just one plant. When we thought about starting a company, we started really small with just 5,000 square feet of shop floor in Pune. And over the years, we acquired, and we started with just 5 machines. Or wahan 5 machines se, today we've moved to close to 300 machines. We now have 5 plants across India, 4 in Pune and 1 in Chennai. We started with just one customer in Pune, in the automotive region, and now we have multiple customers, not just automotive, also defense, aerospace, as well as other ventures like marine. The first thing that when we started the company in 2017, we had one process in-house, CNC machining. So I'll tell you a little bit about what CNC machining is exactly. CNC machining is the process where a supplier like us gets a drawing from a customer, or a 2D model and a 3D model, and we do not own that design. We are a build-to-print company. Our job is to build, let's say, 10,000 parts according to that design, and do it with perfection. So that's where we started. And from CNC machining, we ventured further into investment casting, which is an entirely different process, where you do not cut metal, but you melt metal in a foundry and pour them into wax patterns and create a finished product. So our first plant was CNC machining plant. The second plant in Chennai, again in Pune, was investment casting. Then we started our third plant in Chennai, which is again dedicated to machining, followed by 2 more plants in Pune, one for machining and one for now cold forging, hot forging, and that plant is about to be started this year. The machines are landing now, so we do plan to capitalize on that now. We have a very strong export order book. We started with 2 domestic customers, which has now grown to more than 30 customers across India, in the US, in Europe, in South America as well. So I'll give you more details of our order book on the next slide. A little bit about our parent company. The Omega Bright Steel Group is more than 5 decades old. So there's great manufacturing experience there that is now led by a young team at OBSC Perfection. So we're not just a very young company without any manufacturing experience. There's a great pedigree of founders, which we'll discuss about later. So the Anglian Omega Group has more than 8 plants, and they are one of the largest steel processor in the country. So now OBSC Perfection in itself is, I believe, one of the only companies in India that is backward integrated into steel manufacturing in-house. So you will not find many precision engineering companies who have access to their own raw material manufacturing sites. All our plants across India, including the one in Pune, the one in Chennai, have steel as well as the machining right next doors. So that's an advantage that no other machining supplier has. Talking about that, if the steel is right next doors to your machining plant, so the logistics, the inventory benefits, the cost benefits are significant, which we are leveraging right now, and which directly translates to our PAT. Our revenue journey over the years, we started as a very small company with just 5 machines in Pune, 2017. And effectively, we started the operations FY20. Our revenue was just around 7 crores. And the last financial year, we did about 140 crores. We are continuing to grow at a very, very steep rate of growth right now. And I'm expecting us to continuously grow at 35 to 40% year on year from here. So all this time we've been into machining, we've always wondered how to grow up the value chain. And what I've realized is that just by CNC machining, आप बहुत छोटे value के parts बना पाते हो. It's very hard to scale that business. It's very capital intensive. So over the years, we've always added backward processes like casting. Now with casting in-house, I'm able to create a part that is as expensive as 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. This year, we plan to get into forging. And forging will give us the capability to make much more complex parts. So both hot and cold forging processes are being added this year in our plant in Pune. And with that process in-house, I think we can scale much faster than regular CNC machining business. And we continuously are adding new technology, new processes in-house. That's just one of the things we're doing at OBSC Perfection that our competition has not been able to pull off. This year, we are keenly focused on expanding our footprint into defense and aerospace. We have already started our AS9100D certification process. There's a dedicated wing established for aerospace. Dedicated team has been set up in place. Aerospace machining is a very big business in India, and we plan to get a big pie of that business in the coming years. So a senior resource has been hired who is well connected in this line of work and helping us establish the network and the business that we need and the business contacts that we need for this. We also have received a lot of interest from defense companies in Israel lately, and we do believe that it could be our next big turning point. So we've already received significant, small but significant, very complex parts orders as an initial batch manufacturing that has already started at our end. And I do believe we've quoted for multiple other projects, and which could really be a turning point for our company right now. So as you will see us pivot from a complete or a nearly auto company to a more of a precision engineering company that caters to not just auto, and that mix is changing rapidly for us. Just to give you an idea, last financial year, we did about 90% of auto work, and this year would be less than 75%. So there's a strong push of the non-auto sector, majorly dominated by defense, marine, and exports, of course, and defense and marine in exports as well. So some of the machines that we have in-house, this is deeply technical stuff, though I would not really pester you guys with this kind of information. So I'll explain about what we do in general more. So machining is something that we're doing across all our 5 plants. Then casting process is in our plant 2, which is in Pune. The hot and cold forging will be in our plant 5, again, which will be in Pune. And our plant 4 is almost dedicated to one large EV customer for which we're making parts for Tesla, and these parts are supplied to Tata. So there's a dedicated line being set up for Tesla, and the trial runs have already started. And that is one of the largest orders we have for an EV platform company like Tesla. As of today, we have more than 150,000 square feet of shop floor area across Pune and Chennai. We are planning to integrate all our plants, except for the one in Chennai, all our Pune plants into one big, what I call the Giga Factory of precision engineering. This is something that will be done over the next 2 to 3 years. I do believe with that consolidation of different technologies, different processes into one, under one roof, we will be able to significantly improve our efficiencies. And we are in a business of efficiencies. So with all those processes in-house, forging, casting, machining, laser cutting, within one shop floor, it'll become one of the best shop floors in India for such technologies. And the plans are already put into motion. You'll hear more about that very soon from us. Some of the various segments where we're supplying right now, I did tell you that we are into automotive. We continue to be predominantly automotive as of today, but there's strong push towards moving to other sectors, including the renewable energy, marine, space, and defense and aerospace as well. So, the end products look something like the ones here, like EV parts, exhaust systems, suspension systems, ammunition, fuses, cables, steering systems for marine. This is all exports to the US. Antennas and towers in telecom, solar trackers and windmills. So most of the stuff you guys already have been told about, that we are getting into aerospace this year. We do believe that the Indian aerospace business is going to grow multifolds, and we will be taking a big part of that pie soon. So the space is already created in our plant one, that's our mother plant. The aerospace wing is already there, the certification process has started, our customers, some very big aerospace players have already visited us and they are in the process of auditing us. So we do see a major turnaround for us in aerospace field as well. Not just aerospace, defense happens to be a very, very pivotal point for us as well. Like I said, we are in touch with multiple Israel-based defense companies, and I do see us quoting for hundreds of crores of parts for them, and I do see a lot of them will turn around the future of our company. Our order book as of today stands at 1,200 plus crore, which is significant for a company that's doing a revenue of about 140 crores. So we have acquired some very, very large orders to be supplied across India, in Mexico, in South America, Europe, as well as US. Some significant numbers that I want you to go through when you think about investing in our company. So automotive order book is, as of today, the largest order book that we have, and most of this is exports. And almost, I would say, 90% of the exports order book in automotive will be supplied to majorly Mexico. And it's a US-based company that has awarded this business to us, but the parts go to Mexico. So that's where we are. We've recently received, like I said, orders from Israel as well. And I do see that that'll become a significant part of our business again. I'll look at our revenue and all the countries that we're currently supplying to. Bharat Electronics Limited is one of our long-standing customers in India that has been, buying ammunition fuse parts from us, and we have received a very significant order from them, and we continue to be one of their top-rated suppliers. We also have a zero defect award from them over the last 2 years, so which means essentially we've supplied more than, I believe, 50 lakh parts to them without a single defect so far. Some of our long-standing customers are mentioned here. We are a tier ones. We are a supplier to tier one OEMs, some of the largest in the world. The ZF Group is a 50 billion euro company that buys directly from us. For a company our size, it is a very big achievement. Most of our competition are very, very large companies, which is why we've been able to scale this fast. Okay. Happy to take any questions, and the financial highlights might just be discussed later with the questions now. Yeah. Done. You're done. Short presentation. Okay. Yeah.
The floor is open for Q&A.
Hi, sir. An excellent presentation.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So we have an order book of 1,200 crores that is to be executed over 5 years, which is significantly higher than our current run rate. So do we have sufficient capacity in place, or would we need to do further capex for that?
See, as of today, for the next 2 years, I do believe with the IPO funds still being underutilized, we are still sitting on a good chunk of IPO funds which will be put into the business right now. So we have been frugal with our funds. We're going to put it at the right place. And I do think for the next 2 years, we would not need any more, funding. But yeah, after 2 or 3 years, there's no doubt we are a very fast-growing company, and we're adding plants and plants and plants. So definitely we would need to raise more funds after 2 to 3 years, but not until then.
And so we are doing a lot in marine. So what exactly are we doing? Are we supplying parts for gyroscope? What value addition are we doing there?
So marine is one of our highest margin sort of business. When I say margin, it's because most of our parts are supplied to yacht manufacturers, and these yacht owners and small engine recreational businesses they're not competitive in general. They're very high margin businesses, and we supply parts to marine cable manufacturers across US, and now we prototype parts for gyros. There's a product called gyroscopic stabilizers, which stabilizes the boat. It is made of very complex aluminum, very close tolerance parts. So that's one of our products right now. We're supplying critical parts assembled in that assembly. Yeah.
And sir, we have recently set up a warehouse in the US. Is it to cater to Tenneco, and due to the tariff situations, are we seeing any headwinds in that segment?
So Tenneco happens to be one of our largest customers, and the warehouse is for Tenneco, and not just for Tenneco, also for other US-based customers. And we're also setting up a warehouse in Mexico for them. So I do not see, most of our order book, like I told you, is from Tenneco, but for Mexican plants. We have been lucky in that way, and there's a small percentage of business that still goes to the US. As of today, we've seen no impact. The customer is still, happy with our pricing. He's still, ready to give us more orders.
And so just one last question. So we are getting a large automotive orders. Is it for our core products of shocker absorption rods and sensor bars, or is it for newer products now because we are developing capacities into forging, casting? So can you give a brief idea on the product profile now?
So I can give you exactly, I went through the numbers yesterday before I came here. So of the total order book that we have, a lot of it goes to suspension, will go to suspension. And this will be commercial vehicles, passenger vehicles made in the US. Some of them are EVs. A lot of these parts are to go into Tesla, GM vehicles, like we've already disclosed. So this suspension, then there's also a lot of orders which are again from Clean Air. Clean Air is a different company that makes exhaust systems. So yeah, it's a mix of our existing products. The technologies are machining, and we're setting up a big cold forging facility for one of the large orders we received, because that's the process we intend to build those parts from.
That's all from us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Saksham. I'd
Hi.
like more on the tariff side. So what kind of discussion you are having with the customers with the recent tariffs increase? Do you see any price negotiations, and how much of the tariffs are the passed through to the clients, and how much of the cost you would have to absorb?
So we haven't passed, so we are working purely on DAP terms. So duties are not, part of our business. As of today, no customer has negotiated with us on the tariffs and there is absolutely no question of us absorbing it. Our pricing is rock solid with those customers. And I'll tell you what, most of the business that's awarded to us, these parts were being manufactured in the US before, they came to India. And I still believe, even after 50% tariffs, Indian manufacturing is significantly cheaper than, US manufacturing, despite the 50% tariffs. So as of today, there's no customer that's, pushing us to absorb any tariffs. And I do feel, with the negotiations that are going on right now, that this tariff situation would solve on itself before even they are implemented.
Okay. So would you like to increase your domestic customer base, or would you consider this as a business as usual and continue to focus on exports, or would you like to mitigate some other challenges?
So we want to work with companies that can give us scale. Okay, we are aspiring to be a very, very large company in the next 10 years. And, we are not focused on wherever there's value. So we're working at a minimum certain margins. We're not working like other auto ancillaries. So we are chasing value, whether it comes from auto or from defense or from EVs or from some other segment. I would not say we are particularly chasing export orders or defense orders. We're just chasing high value businesses right now. Businesses that we are very confident that, we can execute with strength. Because in the end, it's all about execution. Every manufacturing is all about execution. And if you are 10% more efficient than your nearest competition, you get 100% of their entire business. You can eat it up very fast. So I do feel it's just, execution game. So we are not really focusing entirely on a certain sector right now, but we do want to build a very, very large company from here. And we have the blueprint for that. We have the track record for that. And I do feel that everything is working out for us right now.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Feel happy to connect with me if you have questions after that as well.
I'm B.R. Nahar. What is your capex on the hot and cold forging plant, and what is going to be the additional turnover from that plant?
So the hot and cold forging plant is not just forging, it's forging plus machining for us. So whenever we put a certain line, it also is added, complemented with machining. So we can make the finished product. As of today, we are due to invest approximately 15 odd crores into the cold forging and hot forging business, which we've already committed. So the advances have already gone, the machines are in transit. And once that business starts, we will be able to, assess it better and, buy even larger machines. I do expect with this 15 odd crores, our revenue from that new plant would be close to 70, 80 odd crores every year. We already have the order book for that, so that's certain.
So another question is that your order book is so strong. So are you not contemplating to expand faster in your existing line of business?
So this is manufacturing, and while the order book is big, you cannot scale overnight. It's just impossible, in my experience. Plus, the projects have a fixed start of project, end of project. So you cannot sell parts to the customer before the project starts. So we are scaling according to, so we're always looking at the next milestone, कि अगले 2 project कब start हो रहे हैं, या next project कब start हो रहा है, and then that is when we put in the money to execute that order book. You cannot, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The customer has to pull the parts for us to supply it to them.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Hi. Yeah. Can you provide an outlook on how do you look at the raw material price volatility, and is the entire order book passed through, or does that have an impact on margins?
So usually in automotive, I'll tell you, strictly about automotive so far, that the pricing is it's all indexed. So there's these indexes that we follow. For example, for aluminium, we follow NALCO in India. For brass, we follow LME, London Metal Exchange. So these are global indexes. And the customer on our nomination, on our order, has there's a clear understanding that if the material fluctuates, if let's say And there's also a percentage, a minimum percentage, because the price goes up and down every day based on, commodity. It's a commodity. And so whenever there's a plus or minus 2 or 3% or whatever value you are comfortable working with, you put it in the clause. In the order, it is stated. And so every 4 months, you and the customer sit down in the automotive world and you tell them that this was the price increase and you get a supplementary invoicing for that. That's very typical.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
With regards to aerospace, what kind of contribution to the top line and bottom line in next 2 to 3 years you are foresee?
I don't have a number on my mind right now. With respect to aerospace, as of today, I can tell you where we are. We've been visited, audited by 2 or 3 very large aerospace companies in India, and we have a foot in the door right now. So, we've started quoting for their projects, but it's a long shot. Building a substantial aerospace business could take time, and we don't have definite vision right now for that, and no committed numbers can be given.
So other than aerospace, anything on other defense areas, navies or?
Yeah, with defense, we've been luckier than our peers because we got into defense at the right time. So I do see defense could become a significant part of our business, but then again, to give, to throw numbers right now would be difficult for me. But I do see that we're quoting a lot of new defense projects and for multiple companies. Earlier, we were associated with just this one company, BEL, but now it's more than 4 companies that we are associated with when it comes to defense. And so I do think that defense could be a very big part of our order book, and we will disclose it as the time comes.
So is of now no numbers as such in terms of overall part of turnover?
See, I can tell you what we're going to do this year and the next year, which is certain, which is in my hand. So this year it would be last year we did about 5 crores of defense business. This year it would be about 20 crores. Just to give you a fair number, that's where we will be. Out of the total total revenue that we're going to do, I would say close to 10% would be this year.
So we can expect maybe around 20% of your total turnover down the line 2 years?
I think it would be fair to assume that with the kind of RFQs we have. But then again, our automotive business continues to grow. And when we get a large order, we would take it if there's value in that order as well. So, it's relatively, that number might come down because our auto business might grow much faster.
Thank you. I think that was the last question. Please give a round of applause to OBSC. I'd like to call upon Ritesh Oswalji and Sanjay Kapoor to please come on stage.